Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Headspace Podcast. This is the show where we talk about new hip-hop albums, track by track. We go through them, give our thoughts and opinions, walk you through the album. My name is Holden Stephan Roy.
My name is Chris Chrome.
And this is the second part of our little discussion surrounding the Dreamville album, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, featuring the homeboy J. Cole, the homeboy Jid, the homeboy Bass, the homeboy Omen, a whole bunch of other homeboys and girls, and it's a whole squad situation. And I'm pretty happy with the album so far. We talked about a whole bunch of it in part 1. So to get the whole first part of the review, you should go watch that first. Unless you want to check the description and check what song you care about the most, and if it's on this half, like maybe you went to that Costa Rica shit and that's all you want to hear us talk about, you'll find it on part 2, because that's when Costa Rica happens. On that note, I don't want to waste any more time. It's been a while. It's getting late. Maybe my neighbors will fucking hate me. But the truth is, when it gets hard, it's good to have some ladies around.
And her had no time to chill with me. I still miss her. I wonder where could she...
I really dig this track. I mean, it's got the homeboy Jid, right? And apparently it's kind of taking the idea of Girls by Jay-Z, and Jid is himself a little bit excited to do one of these kinds of songs because it's maybe a little bit not something he's done. It's maybe lady driven, smoother, slower vibe. And then literally he just describes women in his life, like, yo, I had a yellow girl, caught her dandelion, she'd be pantyless, so no panty lines, because that's what happened. See, when a woman is wearing very tight pants and she's also wearing panties, sometimes you can make out the panty lines, and a lot of people don't like this. So if you just wear no panties and go commando, solves the problem. Everything's aesthetically better. Plus, let's say you tear that shit apart and get up inside of it, one less layer to deal with. She's from Campbellton, North of County line, steady hands, never let her count the bands though. She fucked me trying to pluck a couple bucks like a banjo. That girl was trying to take from him. Wasn't very good. Kind of flows on through. Finds a white girl who, you know, bumps black dye and uses black soap. She's a little weird until she asks if she can drop an M-bomb, some nerve. Got the next girl, whatever. And then all of a sudden he misses some girl, and then he wants the fronto leaf, which is cool because we had fronto leaf up in the apartment very recently as we were with somebody, and I'd never really engaged with the fronto leaf before, but now I've engaged with it, which is cool because it's the second time this weekend I fucking said that, which is cool because what are the odds that shit's in my apartment and we partake in some fun. And then he mentions it on this song, and then T.I. shows up, and T.I. is like, you don't know nothing about no ladies, let me tell you all about it, because I'm T.I. And he's like, now as we smoke and ride and reminisce, I'm thinking back to times when I was young and dumb with single person privileges. So what you're hearing is T.I. going, yo, I'm so jealous that you still get to fornicate with all these girls with your freedom. And yes, honey, I love you, but gosh, I miss it when I could go out there and do all the things I wanted. And he talks about how Lorraine did anything for him, even will walk in the rain after she got her hair did. And then the next girl would steal a car, people weren't ashamed of them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm not like trying to say like your stories are equal here, but it's kind of funny because it's just like T.I. reminiscing about his player days once upon a time. I'm pointing out that he had immaculate game, able to get women to do things, and perhaps Lil Jid can learn how to up his game so he doesn't have the worst situations going around, like, because all the girls that Jid is involved with, it's not perfect, whereas all the girls Tip is involved with, it's all good in the hood, right? And then it just ends where he starts talking about how he has the magic dick. And the truth is, if you're ever kind of in trouble in your relationship, here's the move that all men gotta do. You gotta fuck her like your life depends on it. You gotta tear that like apart, like more than any toy can do. Just when she thinks she's done, you're going harder. You're bringing her to places she's never been before. You're making her make sounds she's never made before. And when all's said and done, she's looking at you, and all she can remember is you made her feel that. And that's what T.I. is describing in this little outro part of the song. It's a pro tip. do that shit. It gets you out of trouble. Just bang her, like make it spray, make it rain out the vagina. If you can pull that off, you're in a good place for the next 2 or so days before you got to do it again. And then he's just like,
this whole build up 2 days though, like
because you're
leg day is coming.
Because you're still a guy, and there's a 0% chance you're going 2 days without saying something stupid. And then he expects that somebody's going to come into his life and fuck him like that, which to me sounds like his wife is not doing it to that extent. And I'm like, T.I., you just got yourself in the doghouse at the end of this one. That's why you say shit, I think, at the end. I don't know. It's fucking funny. It's really good. I enjoyed this song. I thought it was hilarious. I give it a 4.35. T.I. cracked me up.
The song is good. I like how they're kind of giving us this like little brother, big brother type deal. Like, this is what I'm doing with women, and this is what's happening, and y'all don't know nothing. I'm gonna show you something. But I just didn't care. It didn't resonate with me. I was just like, okay, cool. I left it with a 4 on 5. I respect the craft. I respect the lyrics. I respect what they both do. I like T.I. I like Jid. I just, this is what's happening with the women in my life. You're stupid. Let me teach you how to be proper. This is how you do it with this. I fucked up and pissed off my wife now. Shit.
I added that part. For all I know, his wife is into other girls and he's allowed to do what he wants.
Sure.
You can have whatever you like. Stacks on deck. Anyway, go on.
No, it's 4 on 5. I don't actually have much to say about the song. It's kind of just really straightforward.
You know what? Do you have fans in Costa Rica?
I got bands in Costa Rica.
No, you don't.
Moon in my heart in the cooler, frozen like I gave my heart to my jeweler. Told him to make a new piece out of it.
Literally nobody from Costa Rica watched anybody from behind that suit in the last month. That sucks. We got some love from Tunisia though. That's cool. But nobody from Costa Rica, so I guess we don't have fans in Costa Rica. And we're not cool like Dreamville, like Guapdad. Good old Guapdad, $4,000, 4,000, 4K. Is it like 3 stacks? Can we call him 4 stacks? Is that what Guapdad's like, trying to do?
Guapdad 4,000. It's just like Andre 3,000. Like,
cause baby had to bust down on the AP. Yeah, baby ain't a rich styles on you lately. Yeah, I got fans in Costa Rica. I got bands in Costa Rica. I don't know. I like the hook. It's pretty fun.
I like the whole song.
It's flossy. It's fun.
Verse 1 with Reese LaFlare, he comes in. I got big dreams, so my watch got a big face. Girls get messy like a motherfucking mixtape. Smelling like money and I'm looking like sex. I'm outside for real with the slimes and the slates. I was going to click on what slates meant and like the video.
Okay.
Or slats, but I didn't, so I don't know what that means. But I like his energy, and I like how he keeps that cadence throughout the whole verse. But like he's there, I feel like this whole song, everybody's just like legitimately just flexing, in their own like different ways though. Verse 2 is a mix between Boss and Guapdad 4,000.
Guapdad literally just says it's a check, and the rest of it's Boss.
Well, what I do like is how they're kind of putting this like detachment to society a little bit. Boss kind of comes in talking about like followed around with demons in his head and a bunch of stuff, and he's kind of dealing with that. But once he's gotten it froze down, they kind of connect with Guapdad on how like they're switching it up for money and like they're kind of using it. So the narrative of like we used to struggle and now we rich is kind of like their verse split in two, which was I guess pretty cool.
All Guapdad says in verse 2 is the ad lib. It's a check at the last.
No,
line.
he says the half verse. The verse is half, dude. It's Boz and then it's Guapdad.
Well, it's
like Boz says the first. Boz says the first two halves.
Guapdad says the hook.
No, Guapdad is halfway through his verse. Boz says like 4 lines and then Guapdad says 4 lines, and then the verse ends and it continues.
You sure?
Yes, this is one of my other like really good songs that I liked on the album. Like I played this a bunch of times, and his voice continues through the second verse. It's not Boz. Boz has a deep, raspier voice. Guapdad's got like a semi high pitch type of voice, but also got that bass tone. So they cut the verse in half.
Okay.
from what I am understanding. Anyway, moving on to verse 3 with Jace. I like how he kind of goes laundromat with a temper. This is a vicious cycle. I really like how he said that because it's like, first off, if you run a laundromat, I'm also thinking it's a front for like money, drug money and stuff like that. But laundromat with a temper, this is a vicious cycle. I like how he's bringing light to like, if you understand what this means, and again, I think he's alluding to like drug dealing, money, and like putting up a storefront and stuff. That is a vicious cycle, the way the whole plot behind it, the whole business behind it and everything, and that was a really cool way of saying that. I also like when he said, go against the grain like I'm battling the silo. I'm going out west like I'm motherfucking 5-0. LeBron in the finals, motherfucking 5-0. Person betting under 5 foot, hell if I know. That was just really cool. I like how he's using the reference of going against the grain, like I'm battling the silo, really trying to make the difference, trying to stand out and do something different. That was cool. I like how he
also, because grain goes in a silo.
Well, yes, I thought that was self-explanatory. I like how he referenced 5-0. I missed that movie. That was a really good movie. It's like a cartoon mouse and it's Disney and he goes out west. Like, it's legitimately what he does. And that was super, super cool. And that kind of was like, oh, that's nostalgic. LeBron in the finals. I mean, I guess that's some basketball reference I've been following, but not much to really like actually give you a proper depiction. And then moving forward, betting under 5-4, hell if I know. I mean, I guess if you're betting under that, it's not really worth it. But I do like the way he carried it in his voice and how he was just holding on to everything. That was super, super cool. Mez in verse 4 does a really good job. So far, all the artists are really just kind of hitting this beat, just one after another, just killing it. Mez goes, I like how he used the meme. So people got me tight like Arthur's fist and shit like I'm not an arsonist and shit not a that you want to argue with, because if you fucking with your future like Larsa Pimp and shit. I really just liked how he used the Arthur meme. Like that's part of what I was trying to say a little bit earlier on one of the other songs is like,
it's because Larsa Pippen fucked Future.
I mean, sure.
That's why that part of the line is dope. If you're
that
gonna
part
quote,
of the line,
if you're gonna quote the line,
author line,
then you should have stopped at the Arthur line, not brought up the other line, and not brought up why it's a dope line. Because Larsa Pippen fucked Future, therefore, or was suspected of cheating with Future. Because then if you fucking with your future like Larsa Pippen shit, you see, it's clever as fuck.
Fair enough. Verse 5 was Smokepurpp and
sounds like a lot like fucking what's his name,
Lil Pump, but they're best friends. I watched the Lil Pump interview. Like they're best friends. They started together.
I know that Smokepurpp has gigabytes worth of videos of Lil Pump getting blowjobs on it somewhere, just floating around hard drives. Fun facts.
Right. So I mean, I like Smokepurpp's verse, but I was just like, this is Lil Pump to me. It didn't have any distinction a little bit. Verse 6, we've got Jid and Guapdad 4000. I like how Jid goes, top of the morning to anybody who thought it was Betty by Jiddy like I'm a Jedi. Mind tricks live inside of your head. Head eye, devilish red eyes, never been on a red eye or shit. I be high, I forgot. That was really, really cool. I like how he did the Jedi mind tricks reference from Immortal Technique. I like how he referenced Star Wars.
Wait, what?
Immortal Technique made a song called Jedi Mind Tricks.
Jedi Mind Tricks is also a freaking
Star Wars reference.
It's also a fucking rap group. Really powerful underground rap group.
Isn't Immortal Technique the one who made the song Jedi Mind Tricks?
Maybe, but Jedi Mind Tricks is also, I believe what's Vinny Paz and the fucking producer dude. It's a fucking group too.
Oh, I wasn't aware.
But I mean, there's a lot of groups for it. There's also the idea of being fucking high, and then the red-eyed Jedi is another way to roll with it. I don't know. Then there's the Star Wars idea. There's a lot of things.
It is a group. Vinny Paz, Stoop, the enemy of mankind.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
DJ Watson,
I mean, you're right. There is one Immortal Technique, but for me, the first thing I thought of was it was cool to like bring up Jedi Mind Tricks, this like dope ass underground rap group in the middle of it. That was my thoughts. Maybe it's not that, but
Oh man, I mean, I might have not just have gone it, but I do like that verse from Jid.
But Jid's verse is pretty dope. I'm just saying that for me, it felt like that. I like how he ends it with like, at the airport, this girl asked me, "Hey, are you Sway Lee?" And then I realized he does look like Sway Lee. I didn't know that until I didn't realize. I just pictured him being taller and lankier.
The chorus was dope. It's kind of just like follows suit. They got bands in Costa Rica. They got fans in Costa
Everybody
Rica.
knows what the chorus is.
Verse 7, Buddy.
It's the best verse on this.
I didn't think he was the strongest. I felt he flowed well. He did well, but I didn't think he was like the
Suffering
strongest.
succotash, you think it's all putty cat, but hell, I ain't even mad. I started sucking on her titty, put my thumb in the ass. She had a little one, it ain't really nothing to grab. I did it anyway. That's the best verse, man. So he makes the little fucking Looney Tunes rhyme and then describes the vagina, and that's okay. That's fine. Maybe that door is closed. So he puts the thumb in the ass and starts sucking on the little itty bitty titty, and then he's a bag coming down from 91, flying, doing the dash, winning today, and I've been writing my ass off. Ernest Hemingway, I ain't got shit else to say. It's done. But just the fact that he made an Ernest Hemingway line in the middle of a fucking verse where he sticks his thumb in a girl's ass makes this the best fucking verse. Then Ski Mask, the Slump God, comes in, and Guapdad does that. It's a check fucking thing on all of these and like 3 or 4 of these verses. But I really like Ski Mask, the Slump God. I know at least 1 or 2 people in the entirety of this channel said you should review Ski Mask, the Slump God. I think you'll appreciate, etc., etc. And whoever you were, person, you were right. This is dope. When I heard this verse, I was like, yo, I think I do want to review Ski Mask, the Slump God. I think he's actually more interesting. All I knew about him previously is he jumped a motherfucker at a show or some shit. And then now I know that he's got skills. Too much skills, but I agree. He also flows like water. Why? Because water, it flows. Right?
Yep.
And then, so surprised I did not grow grills, and I am your father, like you were Luke Skywalker, and etc., etc. It's just fucking good. Feels like Goku. He's digging your energy. That's fly. I don't know if you like Ski Mask.
I do. I knew Ski Mask actually was able to do the choppy stuff and do the speeding thing. I was watching one of like the Genius videos or something like that.
I would not call that chopping, speeding thing.
No. I'm not saying that he did it on this. I'm saying that I knew what I was getting into when I saw Ski Mask, the Slump God.
I just thought he was lyrical and interesting.
He's really good. I actually been trying to make it a point to go and listen to some of his music. I just haven't gotten around to doing it, but like he affiliates with a lot of like the Lils and stuff, so I'm like really and now hearing this verse, and I was like, okay, I should have been listening to this a long time ago, because it's a lot of what I like. But I think the song is fucking solid, honestly. Like, yeah, there's may a verse or two I may not like so much, but the entire song as well, it has that same type of energy as well as Fargo for me. It's got that same type of like drive, and there's that fun having time. I left it with a 5.
It's not a 5 to me. I mean, this is a flary banger. This is a really good sales pitch. This is some shit that you throw on, and by next year, there's like 5 versions of this song that have come out, and so you've forgotten about it. Like, it's a posse banger, and it's hyped up, but like, I feel like, as an example, Left Hand by Beast Coast had more to it in terms of like substance than this does. This doesn't feel like, it just feels like a bunch of almost vapid flossing in a poppy airy way. I don't mean that in a negative way. This song is super fun, but when I think about it, I think I really just like the hook. I like the way the beat flows, and honestly, I don't think that Reese, LaFlare, Bass, Jace, most of these guys, they're not like saying shit that's making me go nuts or anything. Like Norman Bates with the 8, I'ma go psycho. Laundromat with a temper like a vicious psycho. Feel like Rihanna, bitches go wherever I go. Like, none of this is like hyper like fresh or significant in my opinion. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, this isn't like bad, it's not problematic, it's just, I feel like this is a song designed to just kind of play to a pop market. It's flowing really well. It's like designed to be a single. It's designed to get people to get excited, but like, I don't know, man, because you fucking with the future, like, you know, Larsa Pippen, it's well written, it's super clever, but like, boy, I'm like a barber with this shit. You get out the chair, you get in the chair, the things in the mirror, the way they appear, you know, like, okay, it's all right, it's good, it's airy, And I know this is the part where people are like, you take shit super fucking literally. And you know, you shouldn't be focusing so much on what the rappers are using their words to say on how distinct and dope it is. You should just let fresh be fresh. That's the criticism I'll get on a song like this. But most of this is not dope. Most of this is just okay, delivered in a really dope way. I really just, honestly, standard. It is kind of the stuff you would expect from, I don't know, like if Migos or them were going to make a song called Costa Rica. If Rick Ross were going to make a song called Costa Rica. Like, this is exactly what these guys would be rapping like. Maybe not the flow or the style, but content-wise, yeah, kind of. And I mean, even Jid, I like him, but it's alright. Like, it just, like, his part is cool because of the Sway Lee makes it a little personal, but like, okay, nothing's really going on there. Really, I think that Buddies is fun because I kind of like the sex bars he makes are kind of interesting to listen to. And then Ski Mask, I just never heard him, but I felt like, look, once Jid kicks in, I feel like the song picks up. And from Jid on, Buddy and Ski Mask all really bring a really interesting writing, and I'll give it to them. A couple of the other guys definitely also do it well, but Smokepurpp is like, okay, he's alright. He's got a lot of hoes in Costa Rica, and I believe him. I believe that he gets a lot of pussy in his life. Like, I understand why everyone's gonna think this song's like the super duper hyper banger, but honestly, I think there's a lot of other songs I will come back to before Costa Rica. And you know, you're gonna listen to this for like 2-3 months until the next one comes in, and you're gonna forget about it. It's just gonna fade away because it doesn't have the stickiness. Like, it's just, it checks all the boxes of being a banger more than I feel like it really brings the soul of something out. Like Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa is a song that's eternal in its bangerness because it was just so like, wow, that's a great beat. And that beat's amazing. That's my opinion though. And all of this is my opinion, and you're totally welcome to disagree with me. I mean, I gave it a 4.5. It's clearly a banger. But I know that it is, I feel like this song's going to get hyped up a lot more than it should be when we have other tracks on there. You know what's another one that I think though is really fun to listen to? 1993.
A couple girls and go. Can't do that while I'm on the phone. I'm not a mother's boy, I'm a motherfucker.
This song is cool concept wise, and I think it's my second favorite concept on the album. Because basically it's not meant to be a song. It's more meant to be a smoke session where they're kind of, you know, getting high and having fun with it in their own way. But the mic is the blunt. And so they're kind of passing the blunt around, which is the mic. But they're doing it in a way where they're all supposed to be cutting each other off and shit. And it's supposed to be like a real fun time.
I actually really just took it as they're trying to, it's kind of like one of those things where you meet up with your friends and you actually are just trying to smoke, but then you've got, like, because you're all the rappers or whatnot, y'all just keep spitting, and then you're letting the joint burn, or you're letting the blunt burn. And that's why Buddy keeps getting mad, because he's like, yo, we're trying to get high, we're trying to smoke here, can y'all just shut the fuck up for a minute and just burn the blunt? That's how I interpreted it.
I don't know, I watched J. Cole give a whole little speech about how everyone's supposed to cut each other off and blah, blah, blah. So
I think he was just explaining, like, what Buddy's doing on the track. Because when I watched the same explanation, I just went...
I mean, but that was like to kind of bring it in. Like, it's not meant to, you know, and I get what you're saying, because there's at least one point where he mentions almost specifically that. And otherwise, each of the guys on this track kind of does this little verse where they're kind of describing whatever. Like, Smino's like, I'm drunk at a party and put my cup down. The fuck is my water? I picked the shit up, then drank all the water, then threw the shit up. It's ash in my cup. I'm mad as a mug, huh? And that's funny, right? Because he's just trying to get some water up in his system to sober up a little bit and do all the responsible things you're supposed to do when you're drinking. But somebody ashed in his water and it was fucking nasty, so he almost threw up. He pushed his pack like USPs, you was a bitch, and then, hey, shut the fuck up. Don't even rap. Hold on. And then Cozz comes in, does his verse, and that's fine. He flows on through. He's just trying to fuck a couple of girls and go. Can't do that while I'm on the phone. I'm not a mother's boy. I'm a motherfucker. It's honestly like he's ignoring his mom calling him because he wants to bang some MILFs. And then, you know, Buddy interrupts again. Dr. Dutt comes in. He's just all high or whatever. That's fine. Buddy interrupts again. You know, it just keeps happening as we go through the track. My favorite verse is absolutely Jid's because he has a fun flow to it. And I like the fact that he threw up after his threesome. Like, he got the threesome. He felt so cool. And either he was so nervous or so fucked up that he ends up puking after the situation. And then a girl wants to come to his crib to give his genitals a smooch. How very pleasant and nice of the situation, you know? Typical, get the piccolo, skididdle, skedaddle, sling, peen like a lasso. That mean king say to queen from the castle. I grabbed a saddle, prisoner, the prescription is changed. Jackal, Jack, Dad, and a shotty trying to tell me, motherfucker, did I say don't rap? It's too funny. And then J. Cole shows up. If I smoke a blunt right now, I'm going to be on 285 with my pants pulled down around my ankles. Still no stranger to the blunt smoke. And then Buddy just cuts him off after a bit. And he's like, oh, J. Cole, now he got some dreads. You think he's a big old fucking smoker? No, it's the end of the song. I want to smoke. I want to get high. I called my lift. I'm getting out of here. And it's fucking hilarious. It's a really cool song. And I know it's not a banger like Costa Rica. I'm going to be playing this at the club and going, hey, to this so much. But this is a pretty fun art piece, in my opinion, on this album that really stands out for being something special. And it's vapid on purpose. It's vapid with like a direction. It's vapid because it's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be this weird experience where the hook ends up being, you know, Buddy running around trying to get stoned with everybody. It's hilarious. 4.5.
I gave it a 4.3. I thought it was cool. I guess part of me just wanted maybe a little bit just more verses in terms of just the actual song, but I do really enjoy the concept of what they're trying to portray. I really like how they kind of like took shots at J. Cole and they're kind of just like vibing and having that great positive energy and that great time. And I think that's what you kind of need to break a lot of this competition aspect. And like, yeah, you want to make the craziest verse. Yeah, you want to be on the project. Yeah, you want to do all this. But I think that you also need to have that that moment of having fun and entertainment and kind of just joke and release a lot of that energy and then get back into getting it back on track. So I really enjoyed this song. 4.3.
But it's also kind of funny, right? Because everyone's getting stoned in theory, so nobody can stick to the concept. And, you know, it's almost like everyone has to rap because they're just a rapper. Right? It's too good. Anyway, still 6 more to talk about. And the next one is called Rembreandt. Run it back.
My mama, I'll get off of this. I'm fucking a gang. You niggas is lame. You won't even get a little head out of this.
One time, I was on Tinder, and I sent a girl some of my music, and she came over and sucked my dick. I got some head out this shit, J. Cole. Just want to throw that out there to you, because you said on this song, J. Cole, that, you know, and the haters won't even get some head out of it. Just in case you think I'm a hater, I have, in fact, gotten head out of this shit, okay? I wanted to throw that out there to the world. Why not? Is that not relevant to the lyrics of this very song?
It is.
Just in case. This is a cool, like, you know, because you don't give a damn, we don't give a fuck, you know, that
Right.
Youngblood song there.
Right.
And then it starts off with that line, and then, you know, it's a strong start, and he comes in. And then, man, I love Jid's verse. Shit talking, slick talk, piss talk, stick talk, diss track, get mad, rap, big trash, your squad, my squad, mismatch, piss sense. It just flows in, you know? And the way he delivers that, I think on this project so far, Jid has proven to have the most versatility and the most dynamic way of approaching beats. Like, every time it's something completely different. And I think it's so fun to listen to. This fall, this y'all, I came up with. This my big of a change up. These lame, we in minimal danger. I got the next banger. And put me in the game. I'm ready to flame. I'm anxious. And it's the way he speeds up at the end and flows it up. It just gets so cool. And it's so fucking amazing to listen to. And then Jermaine comes. And this is one of his better performances. I actually think it's one of the cooler ones J. Cole did. But, like, even out the beginning, big nuts hanging, big butts bringing, fuck them all. Like, it's kind of cocky. I don't know. It's just like, I don't feel like J. Cole's the best at cocky. I feel like he's better at humble. No slut shaming money and he came in, I'm appalled. Okay. I mean, I guess you're rich now. And this whole song's honestly, again, like, holy fuck. I'm rich now. Is kind of what I feel. I'm the GOAT now. This is my year. I'm the best. Who's the best? I'm the best. Everybody else is lame. J. Cole. And then Vince Staples comes in and does some really cool shit with like, I had a dream, I had a Glock, I had Beam, run it back. I had a dream, she and Celine, I'm in Supreme, run it back. You had the dream, I had the Guap, I hit the green, run it back. Ready to go, score right for war, run it back. So his part's obviously the run it back part. And then he ends it with this shit like, dummy racks, 100 stacks, please kill but 100 blacks. Don't get killed trying to run a lap. Don't get killed trying to run up, pop, and he gets killed. And that's a fucking cool and strong way to end it.
If you've never heard Vince Staples, this is like a really good verse to really describe who he is. Everything he says in this verse is really like representative. I've seen interviews. I've heard him like on many interviews. I've heard him talk. I'm really interested in Vince Staples for some reason, and
he's pretty artistic.
He really wants to. I still bump the FM album or EP. Anyway, I really enjoy how he's trying to bring back this old school type of feel for hip hop, like bringing back Hummers, trying to like take back summer, trying to like there's like he's really creative in a lot of the things he does, and he's really got like nice ideas that I really am interested in, and I feel like this verse alone, like if this is the first time you hear a Vince Staples verse, this is a very good verse that really depicts who he is, and it's not very convoluted, and I really enjoyed that. I like this song. I like Jid's verse overall, because Jid just keeps knocking it out with, like you said, these different types of like variations of verses and how he's doing it and his cadence and his tone. Like he's really diverse with his presentations. I did like how J. Cole kind of had this like boss mentality, nonchalant, trying to like keep it moving. But I did like when he went crack rock slanging on blacktop pavement, trying to ball line up on the wall, 3 deep final call, knee deep squeeze 3 beep beep Tylenol. Like he's calling back to Tale of Two Cities from his 2014 Forest Hill Drive. He's kind of making reference of like, this is kind of still where we come from. This is kind of like my mentality, how they're like, you know, I've seen both sides. And I really thought that was super cool, because he's kind of like, yeah, we're rich and stuff like this, but this is also, I come from like crack rock slinging hoods and stuff like that, and this is kind of what I was around. And that's something I really enjoyed from him as well. Overall though, I mean, this song for me kind of felt like it moved pretty quickly though. Like it started, it went, and it was over, and it wasn't really...
It's only 2.5 minutes.
Right. And it didn't really feel like anything... Like, this overall, it's good, and I did give it a 4.2, but I don't think that there's anything that really stood out, like, boom.
I give it a 4.5. I thought Jid and Vince Staples absolutely kill it. It's absolutely stunning. The beat work on this song is absolutely stunning. And again, I'm left with J. Cole is saying sort of interesting stuff. I mean, basically all J. Cole's brought to this album and his contributions is, I once was poor, I now am rich. My richness will be given to the hood around me, and people should respect me more, and we doing it. And everyone else just sounds interesting, and they're saying like cool stuff. But and I'm not trying to be like a J. Cole hater. I'm saying that I like 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and since then the creative choices he's made in his flow have become less and less interesting to me over time, just in how he's rapping. It's like he's so confident that like it just comes off in a way where he doesn't care to, like, there's no hunger in this. It doesn't sound like there's a fire under his ass. It sounded like him being the boss making this project happen made him hungrier than him actually trying to prove anything as a rapper. Whereas the other two are trying to prove shit as rappers, which I thought was really fun to listen to. But still, I have to give Cole's credit. Of the verses we've heard so far, this is my favorite Cole verse. It's very fun to listen to. I just wish it had a little more energy and a little more kick to it. And this song would have been a 5, but I gave this a 4.5 because it's still pretty freaking great. And meanwhile, we can move on and talk about the sunset.
Part of the smoke, that's just my staff. Quick stop, never seen this much gas, nigga. I gotta...
This beat's not that hype. It's okay, like it's not bad, but it's not that hype, so you gotta hope that in this moment then the rapping is gonna be like absolutely stellar. And what I will say is it's very fun and like flowy. I would say it's flowy, you know? The hook is okay. one smoke, I wanted two. Roses are red, my diamonds are blue. Pockets is green, a permanent hue. My got work like assignments do. Made a mill, I counted it once. I think I go spread it around in the slums. And in general, I appreciate the sentiment of what he's saying here. You know, a little bit of poetry pointing out that now I got all sorts of money. I'm with this money. I'm gonna go spread it to the people and make sure that others can kind of get something out of it, you know, and maybe I'll go get a crib in LA for some reason. I don't know. The rest of the hook's fine. It doesn't do a lot for me. It's okay. Then J. Cole's verse comes in. I want to pop my shit. I want to cop my whip in cash. On that note, pull up. That's a clever line, right? Because you get a note when you purchase a car, and then on that note, it's a good segue to move something along in ideas. So that's actually a really cool line. Pull up on the folks in an all-black ghost like Christmas past, fish's ass, low-key rich with the same outfit I just had. So guess what? I'm super rich, and I'm still the same old guy wearing the same gray shit and sandals and socks and everything else I rock up inside of the world, because I'm J. Cole, the humble rich man of the world. But yo, don't get it twisted, I got hella stacks, yo. That's kind of how it comes off to me. Like, I don't know, like, I get it, he's cool, but I feel like I enjoy listening to the flow of him over the beat, and he does a decent job with that on this track, and I kind of like the energy of it. I just don't care that much about what he's saying. Then young Nudie gets a whole verse here, and again, for him, I'm not sold on it. It gets cool. It's fun to listen to in the sense of, like, it flows really, really well. The beat's okay. He puts it together. But, like, roll through your hood like some dice, we gon' shake it. Bitch turned up in the spot, booty shaking. I like this bitch getting naked. Fuck for the money, she crazy. Okay, so girl is hot and can shake the jigglies. And so if he gives her the money, she'll have the sex. I don't know. There's not a lot in this. Spread it in your face, make a motherfucker hate me. Whole lot of money, make me want to come take it. I'm in the hood where this shit ain't safe. It's okay, got a Glock AK. Try to play, I'ma hit him in the face. It's fine, but there's no real, like, bangerness to this song. There's no excellent writing to hook me. There's no anything really going on here that's special. It just kind of checks a bunch of boxes and comes out like J. Cole doing something different. This time with Young Nudie. And I guess for Young Nudie, this is a huge moment in his career because now he's got a song with J. Cole, and that's cool. I don't know. I give it a 4.25 because I'm not really paying attention. I find it really good to listen to. But if I pay attention, I feel like I want more out of it.
I don't really enjoy the song. I mean, J. Cole does nice. I'm not too impressed with Young Nudie. I feel like he's got lyrics. I feel like he's got flow. But the beat didn't entice me. The idea of rolling down Sunset Boulevard and just being rich is like, okay, I respect and I know what you guys are doing and this is great. But I think I also kind of like J. Cole being a little bit like humble and making songs about like just real shit that's not about money, or if it is, it's because money corrupts and all this stuff. And like,
well, I mean, I don't have an issue with him flossing about being rich and passing it around the hood because on a principle level, that's a good use of wealth. There's nothing wrong with accumulating wealth if your end goal is to build up a community. Like in a sense, that's what rich people are supposed to do. But it is a little weird for J. Cole just based on everything else he's ever rapped, you know?
Fair enough. I don't actually have much to say. This song really bored me. Like, I tried to re-listen to it and tried to get into it, followed the lyrics, and it was just... I feel like Young Nudie has potential, has stuff to say and whatnot, but I don't think that this verse was... Because to be clear, he only has 2 verses on this project, and one of them gets cut in half, from what I understand. Like, this verse here, this was just...
Okay, another way to look at it, he got 2 verses on this project, dude.
And I give him his respect. I don't think this is the stronger verse. I don't think this is his strongest verse. This kind of felt like anybody could just say they're the king of this. And
his name is Quantavious Tavario Thomas. That is such a fucking cool name. Anyway, he's also cousins with 21 Savage.
Nice.
Chris is like, I don't care.
3.5.
That's fine. You don't have good taste. Anyway, you got me in the hot seat.
I'll let you do what you do. Call me when you're lonely.
What do you bet that Joe Budden is going to completely feel this song too? It starts off, and it's got Ty Dolla Sign up in this shit. And his verse is basically, holla at me when you want to smash, when you're feeling lonely in the middle of the night. And he's obnoxious and he's sorry, but he's not really sorry because he's just not. He's just giving lines. I don't find him very genuine in that. That's okay. It's fine. His part's whatever. And he sounds pretty good next to Ari Lennox, and the way she sings is cool. And I like her part. Who wanna love you though? Or who wanna love you? Who you know can come through and get it right like this. Call me when you need me, but the mother bitches, yeah, they cool. And then she has a floss to it, and she's kind of doing her version of it, like, I can ride your dick better than the other girls can, and he's saying I can smash you better than the other guys can. So they're all everything good. And then it seems like Omen has a little bit more complications. I'm double dating Destiny, so I guess maybe there's a couple people involved. Angels and demons on my shoulder like Chicago. That's an interesting point. The complexity of Chicago and the complexity of his love life is an interesting comparison to make. I feel like I done struck the lotto when I saw you bottom of your shoes, which I guess are those red bottoms that Cardi B brings up. Make a thank you Pyru. I might be wrong. Used to have the blues, but too prideful. Unless a Pyru's a Crip. Are they blue bottoms? Blue batons? Maybe they are. Maybe, I don't know. I may be fucking this up. I always thought, yeah, Pyru's are bloods. They're red bottoms. I'm not that big on the fashion, and I'm not maybe the most knowledgeable on the gang sometimes. Either way, he flows on his verse, and I think it's pretty cool, and it adds, like, again, that kind of male rappy side to get the guys kind of interested in this otherwise very R&B driven song. I like when he goes, eye candy cool, but with chocolate, got a fetish. Been some things I only share with you and not my fellas. Called me to stop through, get you off like cops do. That's a fun line. He's getting you off because a cop can get you off a charge, but he can get you off with his magical body parts to get you kind of feeling sexified. But the idea that you would share with your partner things that you wouldn't share with your boys, or just, you know, having this special connection is also really cool. When Dreezy comes in, and I never really heard her rap before, but she's tight, man. Hold me tighter when I'm tripping, fire the letter, let's get lifted. I done ran into a lot of wrong people with right intention, shit like therapy, cause you know how to talk and when to listen. Kinda love when it don't change if I'm natural with extensions, I got you. And she flows this verse where she really does paint this really fun picture, and it's really, like, I don't know, she's talented. Her flow is on point. It's awesome. It's cute when you get jealous. A person try me. He made that Uzi sound. Master her satin sheets gripping. Sex that'll have your teeth gritting. How I end up at your crib. Marijuana decisions. I was high. A freak for you. ATL. He got my peach dripping. I don't know. I just like it. Like, she's so into this guy that she just wants to fuck him and everything. It sounds really fun to listen to. Overall, it's a really great R&B song, in my opinion, in that regard. Lovey shit. Not 100% my cup of tea, but I really enjoyed listening to it still. So 4.25. Dreezy blew my mind. Extremely talented lady. Maybe we're going to review her.
I do agree that Dreezy did a really great job. I'm not really the biggest fan of Ty Dolla $ign, so he did okay. I was like, he does what I feel like he usually does. I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to make you feel great. This is me. Hi, hello. I don't know. Every time I try to give him a chance, I just kind of get that vibe from him that's just kind of what he does. And I was like, that's cool. Like, that's cool for me. I respect it, and I give him his credit. Good job. Ari really does a nice job on this. I like how they're kind of giving off this, like, loyalty, I got your back type of deal. Like, if you fucking with me, I'm fucking with you. We can do this together. We got each other. We're protective. And that was really cool. But I think the reason why I like Drizzy's verse is just because it's the longest one. There was a lot to say, and it really, like, I really got to sit down and really understand what there was going about. And she's talented. She's really, really talented, really, really skilled. And that's really much all I actually have to say about it, because this isn't a song for me. This isn't something I'm putting on. This isn't something that I'm going to. Maybe I think if I ever do listen to the album fully, I might not, like, remove it. I do like respected in terms of the album placement and everything like that. But
I don't get it in the album placement considering the song before and after it.
no, I just mean like being on the album. I'm not gonna like skip it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, hold on, let me stop what I'm doing and just skip it. Like, nah, like they made it to the album. I do see why, and I do give them that credit for why they're there. This isn't for me. Like, this song is just not for me. I gave it a 4.
Why would you listen to it?
No, I would listen to it if I'm listening to the whole album. I'm not going directly to it. Like, I don't, for me, like,
I would skip this shit, like, every fucking time. Just like I would skip Sunset most times. Because, like, I don't know, there's 18 songs here. There's a lot of other songs for me to listen to that I find that are really enjoyable. Like Rembreandt, you know? But that's just me. You can listen to it all the way through. I'm not trying to shit on you. I don't know. What'd you give it?
I give it a 4.
All right. The next one is the one that everybody has mixed feelings about him from what I've had in conversations. But you're supposed to think it's the greatest song ever. Middle Child.
I'm loading my clips. I'm writing down names. I'm making a list. I'm checking it twice and I'm getting them hit.
Everybody's already talked about this on the internet. We're very late. It's been out for a while, and a million videos have come out, and now it's our turn to talk about it. Huggada buggada, huggada bear, huggada but I'm so blue. I am bored and lazy. Every line sounds the same. Every single one of them on this song. All of them. They all sound the exact same.
Okay, so I like when J. Cole goes, the Bentley is dirty, my sneakers is dirty, but that's how I like it. You all know, y'all on my dick. I really like how he's trying to keep that. I come from this, even though I've got money, I still can play in the dirt. I can still play around. I can still do.
I mean, look, lyrically,
I'm trying to save this song, guys.
Lyrically,
I don't know what he's about to go on.
This song is absolutely smart and brilliant.
Right.
But the beat's kind of and the flow and the constant, like literally the entire song is, I'm on my back, this how does it get, I do not snort powder, I might take a sip, I might hit the blunt, but I'm liable to trip, I ain't popping no pills, but I do as you wish, I roll with some friends and I love them to death. The entire song is that flow, every line. I wasn't kidding. That's the part of this song where you're like, J. Cole, you could have changed it up just a little bit, and that the flow he's using, this is the epitome of like, where's the energy at? Because lyrically speaking, I really get where the fuck he's coming from. Because J. Cole, I believe, is 2 years older than I am. So I get what he's like being in the middle of these two generations, you know? I get half of the shit I'm talking about is I'm hating on the old guys for being old and the young kids for not knowing the shit that we know, you know?
Right, right.
So I really relate to the content. I've never snorted no powder. I don't do cocaine. I used to drink. I mentioned the blunts. You know, maybe whatever. I don't pop pills now. Maybe you can do what you want. And I really relate to where he's coming from. The hook is kind of cool. He's counting his bullets. He's making a name where everybody's coming for. He's like Santa Claus. He's making a list. He's checking his twice. The real ones is dying. The fake ones is late. So the whole state of the game's being painted up. J. Cole, the middle child, the guy between the generations, gonna come slay everything. And he's coming in with a great mentality, right? Like, he's kind of not like, you know, he's got a few millions, but not his whole team's not rich. What's the point of money? I can't pass it around. Again, it's brilliant. Just like LeBron, he wants to bring up all his people. It's amazing. He's got a gift from Dreezy. Why is he going to beef with another legend? What's the whole point of that? If he is going to beef, it's not going to be for clout. It won't be for fame. It won't. Everyone beefs for clout a little bit. It won't be to sell my latest little sneakers. It won't be because my shit's not selling.
I like how he's keeping that, like, I'm doing it. If we're beefing because of hip-hop, or we're beefing because you actually disrespected me.
Right. And he's not doing it for the reasons, let's say, everybody else is going to be going into this game. And he's not doing it to make a little bit of quick money. He doesn't do this shit for those reasons that other people are motivated and getting a lot of point. And then he goes to the little ones and he hopes that they can, like, save their money, because honestly, blowing money is not going to make life easier or erase the pain. He's been there and he's done that. To the OGs, he pays all the respect that's due. He's pointing out, dog, man, I'm the greatest there is right now. Go fuck yourself if you ain't feeling me. I'm not asking your permission, which is hype and shit. And then the chorus comes back in and I'm like, or no, the pre-chorus thing where he flows in, but I really do like the real chorus. The I just poured something in my cup. I've been wanting something I can feel. That part's amazing. That's my favorite part of this song because it really shows that passion and energy that I'm really looking for. Or that money in your palm don't make you real. When you hear that line, you're like, he's right. That is a powerful sentiment, yo. Just because you got cash don't make you realer than me or anybody, really. Realness has to do with how you present yourself and how you live your life, not the dollar bills in your bank account. Or a pistol in your hand don't make you real. If it ain't about the squad, don't give a fuck. He's just putting the right principles in. That chorus might be one of the best things I heard from J. Cole on the entire album. And then I really love the second verse where he points out how like he kind of wishes there was better love and guidance available for the different people in the situation. Talks about how he's chilling with 21 Savage and Jigga and all this other shit.
But I like how he's making that connection. Like I like how he's really kind of bringing to light that he wants to bridge the gap between the old heads and the new heads because he feels like he has that responsibility. Like, he is going to meet Jigga after this, but he's also chilling with them. And it's like...
So for all of that, I'm with you. And J. Cole is, in my opinion, from a content, subject matter, like philosophical, I agree with how he's coming at it. Love it. I just wish this song was hyper.
Like, energy-wise?
Like, I just wish it was a better song. It's so good in every regard except for the part where I want to listen to it.
I can understand that. Like, I like it, and you know what the thing is? I think for me, I didn't really dive into it when it popped. When it came out, I didn't really dive into it or not. I listened to it one time, got the whole, like, why does everybody care for this song? Made my opinion, and I moved on. So when I really came to sit down to this song now, I was like, all right, I'm actually going to sit down, read the lyrics, and go through it. And I kind of feel the same way. Like, this isn't the hypest thing. Like, it's hype for what he's saying. His content is nice. The structure of it is cool, but I don't know. Like, it's not really... I think people overhyped it so much because it's J. Cole and because it's like this like supposed to be spiritual lyrical fucking shit, but it's not. It's pretty just straightforward. He kind of just disses somebody. He kind of tries to bridge the gap, and he's basically expressing how...
I don't think he disses anybody.
Well, he kind of goes after, like, it's alluded to going after Kanye for when he sold his shoes.
That's what Genius says.
Well...
You should say Genius says this so you quote your sources.
Well, that's true.
But I think it's just actually going after anybody who is making those kind of moves for those reasons. And yes, Kanye might be a guy in that situation who might have a little bit of a beef for some sales. I don't know enough about that. But yeah, I do think that there is this expectation that if J. Cole releases a song that has good lyrics in it, that all of a sudden that means that the song is good. Like, I've expressed my feelings on this to multiple people, and everybody looks at me like I'm fucking crazy, but I'm like, have you listened to 2014 Forest Hills Drive? There is not a sleeper on that album. Everything about the energy and how he kills it is his passion and his rawness. This sounds like, alright, I guess hip-hop needs me. I'll step up to the plate. I'm counting my things. The whole way through the fucking...
Okay, now that you said that, I kind of understand it a little bit more.
It's every single fucking lyric except for the fucking chorus, which sounds different, and I like it a lot. I give it a 4.5 because I can't deny that if you happen to like the one flow he uses this whole song, and you happen to really love that beat, you're calling this a banger. For me, it wasn't 100% my favorite flow of his, but we've discussed the song.
I gave it a 4.2.
That's fine. Don't be meaner to you in the comments then, because you gave it a lower grade. And then after you read the comments, you guys don't know fucking anything about anything. I guess I'm supposed to be so scarred when you call me lame and shit that I have PTSD.
I wish I didn't have the song to write. I know you probably rather me keep it like...
I feel like Middle Child is weirdly placed on this album over on track 16, followed by this PTSD experience. It's a cool song, But like, I don't know if maybe this album's kind of long, and I got to a point where I'm like, this isn't bringing anything new to the table for me. That was my feelings on PTSD. It's cool. I'm not sure I know who Mereba is, but it was like fine. Used to bid me for like the steal of a hatchback. You was there for Q like a 4th grade class fact. Q was in for me. Never needed to ask that. PTSD. Now I'm having a flashback. Told me I'm sweet. Can't sleep in the trap. You know, it kind of has like this idea of each verse is going to give a little bit of the reasons where they have some traumatic experience in their past that they're kind of reflecting on and sharing with us. Deante, Hitchcock does the second verse, and it's fine. My mama told me faith is all I need, and back in the day I would have agreed, but now it's hard to believe. And that sentiment's really powerful to me because it's easy to maintain faith when you're young and when you're looking at the situation before the world makes you all kind of jaded and old and a bit of a hater and whatnot. So, you know, I like the honesty in that shape, you know? Believe in something greater than me without being able to see it. So fuck a watch. I wear my heart on my sleeve. It's beautiful and it's actually really powerful and shit. But the sound of it is not encapsulating me quite as much as, let's say, I think the lyrics are really dope, you know? The power of a higher spirit entered me mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm on a whole different energy. Fuck the world, but I need you to remember me. And it's just, again, the whole energy of his verse, I think, is really cool. This idea of, like, maybe the past experience of his life fueling this desire for him to grow. And I really like the way he plays shit where he's like, my soul don't remain so much in my heart. Really, I don't know where to start. The irony of finding self in the dark. Truthfully, I feel like it's two of me. I should have been on the arc. The love-hate relationship with thoughts. I don't know. Something about rhyming. The arc sound isn't as common as you might think. So I thought that was pretty cool. Omen does his verse. It flows in pretty properly. He was on his way down. Breakdowns, breakthroughs, spit up on my debut. Gotta say I stay true. Maybe why I stay broke. I've been on the goose chase. Gotta swallow pride when they see me. How the truth tastes off the beaten path like Blueface. And that's a cool line because Blueface does. He raps off beat and shit. But again, it kind of seems like in his world, he was going through some tougher times. Maybe he wasn't making the best situations. He wasn't flowing proper. His sister's homeless. You know, it's not good. And when he's seen this situation, he looked into her eyes and saw how fucked up it was. It kind of maybe scarred him and motivated him in a different way. And then Buddy does a little bit of an outro where it kind of flows and, you know, it's for the homies and the hoes and whatnot. And I feel like it's kind of a bit long in the way that it's put together. And again, maybe it was just because I've been with this album for a while. But I like the sound of it. I like the flow of it. I like the lyrics of it, but I don't feel like it really was engaging to me. I had to really focus on it for the sake of the review to find all of those things, whereas inherently I might not have really given this song a second chance if it wasn't for that, where I do think it's like a 4.25. It's a good song, but it's definitely not one of my favorite songs on the album.
I feel like this theme has been overplayed throughout the album. I do like what they're bringing to the table and how they're kind of expressing themselves in terms of dealing with like the PTSD from what they've been through. But I feel like this was like I'm kind of like on the end of my edge now, where it's like, all right, I feel like this album might need to finish just because like it's a lot of music. But I do enjoy when Mereba, when you the missing piece, no peace when I sleep, now used to practice peace, finna sleep with the peace now. And it's like, this person's not around, she needs to feel protected, she's gonna be sleeping with a gun, and it's like, you really kind of get like, okay, you've been through some shit, you want to keep yourself protected, like, you know, what's kind of happening. Deante, Hitchcock did really well. My mama told me faith is all that I need, and back in the day I would have agreed, but now it's hard to believe. I still do not, because I need to believe in something greater than me without being able to see it. And that's something that really, really stuck out, because it's like, if you don't believe in anything, or if you don't believe in something, I don't really know what you're feeling inside. And I say that just because, like, I know what it feels like to be empty and not really have any faith or believe in, like, that you can possibly do something or achieve something. But once you really kind of find that drive, like, you feel better about yourself. And that's what I feel like he's saying in this line here. Like, you really need to find that inner peace inside so you can keep going and not have to deal with a lot of this, like, I guess, self-doubt, struggle, insecurities, and all these other things. My soul drained. You already quoted that, which I really think is a good line. Just because like you can really feel the pain and like the agony that's coming from it, but and you know the rest of the song kind of just follows through as well. But overall, I don't know. I felt like it was for me, and I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but like we kind of get it. Like for me at this point, I was like, all right.
To be fair, these are new people that are doing it, and it's not necessarily like the same voices and the same ideas and the same specifics.
I agree with that, and that's why I part of me is still kind of saying here, like I think that it's just I'm like trying to still push through. But I mean, overall, it's not bad. It's not bad. I like how Buddy ends the song on this positive feel. I really like how they're trying to like do this just like for everybody and really trying to get the whole community together. But man, the beat was okay. It wasn't like the greatest thing for me. I felt like the song was a little bit softer as well, a little bit slower paced. But I gave it a 4 on 5.
All right, so that brings us to the very last song on this album that we're gonna talk about today. And you know, it's been a couple of hours for our lives. It's been a lot of reviews this weekend. Maybe we could have had fun. Maybe we could have done other... Not to say this isn't fun. Maybe we could have gone out. Maybe Chris could have smashed some beautiful young lady that he met somewhere because he wasn't hanging out in a room with me sweating. It would have been...
I would have been at home in my bed. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
That's fine. He can sell himself out. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes you got to make the sacrifices. Sometimes.
Cutthroat. Rabbit's cold.
This shit is 6 minutes long. I mean, look, as a reviewer, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I gotta listen to, because I listen to this song 3 times in a row when I do my review part, minimum. That's 18 minutes, and I was running late, so he's sitting here in the other room, and I'm trying to get this shit done, and I'm like, 6 fucking minutes. That's okay. Johnny Venus proves that he is a beautiful fucking singer, rapper type person, and what he does on this track is really dope. Young, back from the dead, I know, almost lost his head, got run, got fly, got float, chance on top of the dresser, I don't know, what he's saying is cool, you know, things are a little bit fucked up, but the way he's singing it just flows so beautifully, and then as a monologue, talking to the fuck a hoe and miss, yeah, I don't know, I really like that line, like just... The idea of fucking a hoe and missing, like, what is it, you jizzing her by mistake, or you picked the wrong girl and it's a bad situation. Like, I started really thinking about what that could possibly mean. I'll make sacrifices, bloody sacrifices, cutthroat rabbit's toes, I suppose. Maybe that's what life is. And in this world, you might have to do some shit like that. It's entirely possible.
I like verse 2 from Johnny Venus.
You know what's crazy? 68 motherfuckers are also looking at the Genius page right now. You know, like, this song's on fire. So maybe you, person watching this, have the Genius page up.
67 other motherfuckers, because I'm one of those 68.
And then I love Johnny Venus' second verse because he fades it and pans it back and forth, left to right in each ear.
Caveman, 2 drink, cave in, 2 blood, ease up, booyah,
I mean, it's
up, who care, who there?
As far as what he's saying, at this point, I don't know. I was
Do
fine.
What, wake up, the hell happened?
It's all right.
Hands up,
I don't really feel like it's superly substantial. I just enjoy listening to the way he says it all and the way it bounces back, and I think it's really well constructed. Then Smino comes in, who I've never really heard of before, and he flows, and I like his verse, you know. I can smell you pussy with the panties off. I like that line. Like, he's got it so ready to go. Been getting to the break, trying to keep this shit low, but it ain't working. My circle on fire like a circus, now around the same. I've been around, so of course I endorse my Reggie Lil from the north side. It's a stigmatism, you got poor sight. I don't think I heard many people use a stigmatism in a rhyme, but that's when the cornea is curved to a point where you have 2 separate focal points as the lens because the light passes through your cornea, which is the lens that curves on your eye, and it reaches the back where it like is supposed to hit the right part of where your optical nerve is, and you know, giving you all this shit. So astigmatism is when it curves in a way that it creates 2 focal points and fucks shit up. I have mild astigmatism. Anyway, the rest of his verse is totally cool. I like how he literally goes, I'm good for the arch, I'm Dr. Scholl's, because Dr. Scholl's is the people who make the foot shit that makes your foot, you know, feel comfy and whatnot. Saba is one of my favorites. I love the way he ends his verse, and he has like this crazy cool flow going on with it, and just the way he just rhymes it all. I don't know. There's a really good energy to it. I liked when he goes corrupt like a dog pound gangster. That is the first lyric that, like, when I first listened to the album, it popped out to me, and after I tweeted it out because I thought it was cool. Sorry, our politician a fuckface, corrupt like a dog pound gangster. That was one of my favorite lyrics on the entire album. I thought it was really fucking cool. And I just, the way he goes, rather than waste the amount of bars it'll take for me to call him out by name, he kind of, in a sense, takes this opportunity. Sorry, all of them are the same. It's harder to tell them apart. Some days I thought I'd call them out together. So in a sense, he's just going to diss the entirety of everybody who kind of sounds the same, all at the same time, and make it work. But for real, the way he goes, how am I supposed to drop out the major? Success stories, the favor. I used to cover my scars. Are you trying to cover the fader? The whole part, the way he's flowing, it just sounds so good to me. Then J. Cole comes in, and I really like what he does here, because you can't be everything to everybody. I want to be your lover, your best friend, your Batman, your Spider-Man. And I feel like he's talking to his wife a little bit, and he's just flowing in the sacrifices that he's trying to make to, like, the world. He can't be everybody to everything, but I'm gonna be this for you, I want to damn near kill you to be the one to heal you up. I want to be the one that fill you up. On nice when you need good dick to cheer you up. Like I was saying, if she's in a bad mood, half the time she's hungry. If you fed her and she's still in a bad mood, you know what you gotta do. Use that tongue, my friend. It is always a good way. It's just gonna do whatever. I like when he goes, toss my hopes out, Royal Rumble, because that's how a Royal Rumble works. He tosses people over the top rope and shit, etc., etc. J. Cole's having another kid. That gets revealed in the singy part that comes through. She gave me the gift of son, plus we got another on the way. She gave me a family love, for that I can never replay. Honestly, I really like how when J. Cole raps to his wife person in this more serious, mature way, he really sounds like a guy in a long-term committed relationship, and that might be his best verse on the whole song. Just the one he raps to his wife and shit, his best verse in my opinion. And I thought this was actually a really cool song. Really flows well, really has a lot of great energy. The beat is seductive to listen to, and as you go through it, you're like, okay, it might be 6 minutes, but it's still pretty fucking great. I gave it a 4.75 on 5. I really think it's almost perfect. I don't know what's missing exactly. Maybe it's just a little bit long for my liking, but it's dope.
I enjoyed it. I really like how they took the time to really express different types of sacrifices that they're making and really kind of getting into it. I'll be honest, the J. Cole verse is what really, really stood out to me, just because I agree with Holden. This is the better verse that he did on the whole album, and I think that's, and I might be a little bit biased for that, but I think that's why I really, really like it. It was personal, it was emotional, it had that passion, it was all good. But what I do like from J. Cole in the 5th verse was, I've been so disconnected, my perspective is ignorant when you rich. People don't want to correct you, saying something crazy, they won't interject, do every drug that you
is
want,
a good part.
they gonna let you dangerous. When it's nobody to check you, I've been having to check myself. And it's really like, that really kind of stuck out to me, because it's like a lot of sacrifices that you might have to make are not something that you might have to make if people are there to help you out, and being on your own is like probably one of the bigger sacrifices, I guess, for myself dealing with it, that people can make, because you really got to like put yourself in that box and really like check yourself and really grow and really like give up that time to do whatever it was that you wanted to do, to really build yourself up as man, woman, however you want to consider it. But that's really what I took away from this song. I do like it though. I do like the energy and the passion that the artists are bringing. I do think it's a little long, but it's long when you're kind of like, I guess it's intimidating when you're looking at it, like just, oh my God, 6 minutes. Well, but when you really get into it, it doesn't. But it's like, really,
if you have all the time in the world and you're listening to this at your leisure and whatever, it's not the same thing as when you're listening to it with a deadline.
Absolutely. Like I do 100% agree with that. But like I was saying, like even when you start listening to it, you just get into it and you don't even realize like the actual length. You kind of just follow along with the song. I gave it a 4.3. I think it was a really, really good song. It's just not, like, again, my taste.
All right. So that brings us to the end of Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville, which is really J. Cole and Friends. I like this album. I give it a 4.441. It is a star-studded little album, which just takes the Dreamville roster plus guests. You know the whole story of how it came to be. If not, watch part 1 where we cover it at the beginning. And I think, all things considered, this is a really interesting experiment that went really well. With the melting pot kind of everybody can contribute, that Wu-Tang feel of only the best verse makes the cut, the whole energy, and it really just created this, like, I'm not gonna lie, the one criticism of this album, because of how it was created with the time limit and the energy and the type of project it really is meant to be more of I'd say like a airy, everything's supposed to sound really good and everyone's going to have quick little verses, little lines here and there. Nobody really had the time to come up with like these deep concepts. So you can't come into this expecting some deep concepts like you might expect on like a J. Cole solo project. But what you can expect is to hear all these combinations of people who just go really well together, like how Buddy and Jid should just do some tracks together now, you know? And there's a wide versatility of sounds and styles, from fun banger type shit to R&B love songs to J. Cole announcing he's gonna have a new kid, to all sorts of shit you're gonna get on this album. And on that front, I think it really covers the landscape of modern music and proves that Dreamville can create an excellent sounding project. I do not think this is going to go down as a classic, because I think it's trying to be all sorts of things at the same time, and while it succeeds at being all of those things at the same time, that's its big detriment. You're going to find the songs you like off of this, and I don't think a lot of people are going to go back and play this A to Z again and again. Everyone's going to grab the songs they like and go put them on their playlist and move on, because it's that kind of album. It's like what DJ Khaled wishes he could do. So I guess J. Cole's the new DJ Khaled. Another one.
Oh,
we the best.
Don't do that.
Anyway.
The album landed at a 4.2 for me. I enjoyed it. I really think that there is a lot of diversity, a lot of talent, and a lot of skill here. It introduced me to artists that I never thought I'd listen to. It introduced me and reminded me of some artists that I should be listening to. I've known about EARTHGANG for a while. I just never, again, got around to sitting down and listening to it, because every week I got a new album to listen to, and I prioritize that, right? So I'm glad that I got to get bits and pieces of different types of people on this album, which is the same thing I also liked about the Beast Coast album, was that I can get different types of snippets of people. Now, granted, I knew half of the entire squad on the other album, but this was cool to get like new people and like nothing I've ever heard before, and just really getting into like different flows and different cadence and different just differences, which was really, really nice. I do agree that this kind of shows like a movement in a sense where you can make it you can make a good album that touches upon a bunch of different things. So yeah, I really think that this, I don't think it's a classic either, but I think this is a good album, and I think that you can find a lot of like knowledge and wisdom from it in different ways.
Okay. I think you'll find a lot of good sounds. You'll find some knowledge and wisdom in there. I guess in different ways. That's fair. Thank y'all for watching. I totally appreciate you being here with us. Feel free to leave us a comment letting us know what knowledge and wisdom you found along the way.
Yes.
Tell us all the different varieties above it, all the different manifestations, anything that you thought was interesting, anything you liked about this project, this review, all of that good shit. If you dug it, you can hit that subscribe button to get more reviews. You can hit that like button to tell the YouTube peoples that we're amazing, or not. You can hit the dislike button. Whatever, your prerogative. Interactions is interactions. On that note, special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Dempsey, Chris Prado, DJ Black, Hurricane, Lindale Williams, Jonathan Barnes. They're all some people. And Chris Prado. They support what we do. They're gonna be free. They helped us get a new camera. They get to tell us what albums to review along the way. And we're going to be doing a DJ Black Hurricane request real soon. And yeah, for $1 or more a month, you can support us. You can help us get to the next levels of life and all the amazing things that come with that. And we also make music, so you can check that out on this channel or not. But if you do, you can let us know in the comments what you think, and that would make you super fucking incredible and awesome. I look forward to talking with y'all in the next review. Have a great day and everything else. I'm tired. It's almost 11 p.m. I've been at this all day.
Peace.
Bye bye.